Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. For today's episode, I thought I'd be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original Rocksteady action figure. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at this guy. Bebop and Rocksteady are Krang and Shredder's two bumbling mutant henchmen, who are often deployed to steal vital and important pieces of technology or engage the Turtles in a fight. Mutated with that of a mighty rhino, he gained enhanced physical strength, but still retained his below-average human intelligence. However, with the advanced weaponry of the Technodrome at their disposal, they are more than enough for the Turtles to consider him a threat. Alright, so here we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original Rocksteady action figure. Now, it's a little unknown fact, but the first wave of these figures actually sported soft, rubbery heads. I'm not really sure why they implemented this design, but I do know that they later converted them over, and all these guys had harder heads after that. It may have had something to do with the fact that the heads were always popping off. I remember that happening to my Michelangelo character quite a bit. It was a real big pain in the butt to get back on there, and I think I eventually lost his head. Parents were probably complaining, saying like, oh, I gotta go buy a new action figure for my kid because they lost the head and it just popped off. Now, as far as articulation goes, it's pretty standard for most Ninja Turtles lines. His head can move side to side, his arms are able to move up and down, and he has wrist articulation on both arms. His legs are actually on these socket joints, and you could kind of get him in a nice sitting position or be able to wrap his legs around any vehicle that he might have. Although this guy's joints are a little bit stiff on his legs. As far as his detailing goes, he's fairly show accurate. You probably got to keep in mind that this guy was in development along the same time as they were developing the character for the TV show, so they were probably given the roughest of concept art to work with. Still, a lot of the staples are there. You see his nice pit helmet right here with the goggles on the top of his head. I think that only lasted for the first season of the show. You get his tank top and his camo boots, and you also get a nice little scar right here on his arm. You can tell that, yeah, he's actually been in a couple fights. Now, as far as his accessories go, I only have really one downside with them, and that's his belt. Because of how they designed his belt, it actually just kind of slides and folds into one another, and because it doesn't actually peg, it's a real pain in the butt to get this thing back on if you ever take it off. And because it's actually fits so tight on him, it's a real Herculean effort to do that. I have another one of these figures where I just can't get that belt back on. Now, another accessory that he came with was a big Bowie knife, and I'm sorry to say I've actually lost that over time. I even actually forgot that he actually came with it until I did this review. The other weapon that he came with was this manhole cover shield. I don't think this was the original one that he came with. I think this one actually came with a Michelangelo figure, although it did look exactly the same, only it was a darker plastic that better matched the color of his gun. Speaking of his gun, this guy actually comes with a pretty realistic looking gun, which is kind of odd if you think about it. Most Ninja Turtles figures later on, their guns would either be giant laser guns, have some sort of animal, be mutated in a way, or probably combined with some other weapon. If memory serves me correctly, I think Michelangelo even had a machine gun ukulele, but don't quote me on that one. I'm guessing parents probably complained that it was promoting too much violence, so they had to circumvent or go around that little thing by giving him more cartoonish guns. Still, this guy isn't a bad action figure, and I mainly got him because, well, I had a Bebop figure, and, well, you can't have a Bebop without a Rocksteady. But I am happy that I got him. Anyways, this has been a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original Rocksteady action figure. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.